Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. So today I've got in a Seestern. It's their version 3. This one looks like it could be hot to trot. Who knows? I've wanted to get the Seestern Seiko 62 mass Homage in for a while. Put my teeth back in. And it didn't really happen for whatever reason. And this one came out on the stainless steel strap. And I was just like, do you know what? Let me get this in. Some of the rendering, the pictures, the lug fit didn't look great. Hopefully through the video we'll see if it was just a picture or if there's a problem with fitment on the watch. But Seestern are making a lot of noise. They seem to be a sort of associated with Sujes and some other companies. I think Sujes is the main parent company if I got it right. But yeah, they seem to be making a lot of good noises. They brought out the Doxa Homage and they've got a Seiko 62 mass Homage. I dare say as time goes on they're going to bring out a few more. I think they may have done a Submariner Homage, but then again it seems like everyone else has anyway. So it'd be very remiss of them not to have done, considering that everyone else has. But yeah, I hope this watch appeals to you. There's a few different color variations that they do in this watch. I've gone for the red sort of fume dial, but there's a few others that you could potentially grab. I will leave pictures up through the video of sort of all different old sort of iterations of what they do. But thank you for tuning back in, guys. I really appreciate all your support. And without further ado, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. As you can see, it's the Seestern. It comes in normal packaging, hard sort of briefcase. I've undone the catches already because sometimes they can be a bit tricky. Inside you've got the normal sort of stuff with the foam on the upper side and bottom side. You've got a card, unsigned warranty card. But unfortunate given the prices that these sort of watches sell for. You're talking San Martin money. Come with a screwdriver to help you sort of size the links, as they are screw pins, and I've taken 3 links out for it to fit my wrist. So yeah, that's the packaging, that's the good stuff that you get. Put it to the side and then you're left with the watch. As you can clearly see, this one comes on the bracelet. Yeah, one that's been highly anticipated. Does it live up to its billing or the expectation? Let's have a look. So this is the version 3. It's their Seiko 62 mass Homage. Inside, it's running a Seiko NH35 movement. I'll bring up some information about that movement now. Yeah, rugged, reliable NH35, also known as a 4R35, when in Seiko watches. Yeah, 24 joules, rugged, reliable. In many micro brands at this point, and really you can see why, given the fact that it's such a reliable movement. It doesn't really give you any issues and just sort of takes a kick in and keeps on ticking, as they say. So yeah, that's the movement. There's the info for the movement as well. Now moving on to the actual construction of the watch. So everything really is stainless steel. You've got the insert, which is obviously isn't, but the rest of it, so the bezel, crown, case back, the case itself, solid end links, bracelet and mill clasp, bottle 316L stainless steel, and we will look at those elements in a bit more detail in a moment. The case thickness of this watch is 13.7 millimeters. The case diameter, when you go from the 8 to the 2, excluding the bezel because that does overhang a little bit, is 37.4, including the bezel is 38.4. And when you go from 9 to 3, including the crown, it does become 40.5 millimeters. So quite compact, not a very big watch. The lug width on this is 20 millimeters. That does taper down to 18 at the clasp, and then back up to 20 at the clasp, just so you know. The lug to lug, tip to tip of this watch, I'll do it around the right way, is 46.5. That does overhang by quite some distance though, unfortunately, as you'll see, as there is mill end links to the center links. It does go up to 52.9 millimeters, so not inconsiderable really, given the size of the watch. So that's something to bear in mind. The bezel is a ceramic bezel. I don't really love it, I don't really hate it, to be honest. 120 click unidirectional bezel. It's okay, decent clicks. Doesn't quite line up, which is probably, I'd say, my biggest bugbear with it. A little bit off, but not too bad, kind of passable. but it does, you do need to kind of have to wiggle it to get it to fit, so there's a bit more play in there probably than I would like also. So yeah, the bezel is okay, nothing to write home about, but also not too bad. The case back, if you would have seen my Doxa Homage they did, you'll see that they do like deep edge case backs. We turn it around the other way actually, so you can have a look, because it's the wave, and you got a starfish sort of leaping out of the water. Actually looks very, very beautiful. I do like the case back, I must say, and I did say as much in my last video. The crown is situated at the 3 and also is signed with that starfish. At this point, that starfish is getting about a little bit. The bracelet, so the bracelet, as I say, is all stainless steel, all brushed on the top, all sort of vertical brushing on the top and high polish at the sides. And as I mentioned at the start, it has got screw pins just to sort of make it easy to adjust. The clasp is fully milled. It's got 6 levels of micro adjustment, and it does click into place. It's got a safety catch and double safety pushers. High polish catch, which I'm not really sure about. I'm not sure why they've done that, but that is what they chose to do. So that is, it's their watch. They can sort of do as they please. But yeah, I'm not really sure why they did that. The crystal on this is sapphire crystal, and it's quite a bit of, it's a dome sapphire crystal, just sort of overhang very slight amounts from the bezel, so it sits a little bit proud of there, but it is sapphire crystal. The water resistance you'll probably make out down at the 6 o'clock position. It is 200 meters, so that's 20 atmospheres of water resistance. But as with any watch really from AliExpress, it's not going to be certified. That's just to say that it's got 200 meters. Probably take it swimming, no problem, no issues. And the weight will appear in the top right hand corner. It's in and around 145 grams with 3 links taken out. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. So what you've got is you've got a red fume dial. It sort of goes from quite a deep red to sort of darker and black at the edges of the dial. You've got a minute track going around the outer edge. Inside of that, you've got applied indices everywhere except for the 3 o'clock position, which is making way for the date window for the NH35, excuse me. All of the applied indices and the hands are loom filled, and I'll bring up a loom shot now. Not bad loom, and again what you'll see is they have also included loom on the date window. That tends to be what they do at Seestern. I don't know if it's got many practicalities knowing the date underwater, but it's there anyway. But yeah, that's the dial. As you'll see, let me just take the crown out very quickly. So crown will come out. It doesn't pop as nice as I would like, but still. Now put it around to the 20 past 8 position, kind of where I like to situate it. So you can have a look. You'll have Seestern is printed onto the dial, not applied, just printed, as is automatic 200M just above the batten at the 6. Yeah, as I say, rugged, reliable movement in H35. You take it out, it will hack. If you put it back in, it will start back up again. At the neutral position, you can hand wind it. If you take it to the first position, if you scroll through, you can scroll through to the date, and to wherever obviously the date is. And as I say, take it out to the second position, hack back in, and it will start back up again. It's a screw down crown, and it screws in nicely. The knurling's done nicely, no difficulty in terms of engaging with the movement and stuff. No problems there. And like you said, you can see lots of blue AR coating on that crystal, just making it a bit more legible. Like I said, there is a few other color variants of this watch, which I'll bring up in just a few moments. But yeah, that's the dial, guys. That's what's going on there. But let me just pop it on the wrist for you, and I'll also bring up a picture now of the other color variants you can get. So there should be one that's more in keeping with your style. I quite like the red one, but that's just me. But let's have a look at it on the wrist now, guys. That's what it looks like on my wrist. As I've said before, my wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist, and that's what it comes in looking like on me. Yeah, not bad. Lug to lug is a little bit disappointing, given the fact it's quite a compact watch, so female end links might be an idea later. But now, that'll take me on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched my channel before, you will know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So what I think is pants, as I mentioned at early doors actually, is the polished catcher on the clasp. Get my fingerprints. The rest of it is brushed actually, polished on the sides, but why it needs to be a polished catch, I'm not sure. I think it would look much better being brushed. The male end links, yeah, no surprise that I've mentioned that. That adds a considerable amount of length to this watch when you consider the fact that it's quite compact. The proportions are quite small, so lug to lug is very disproportionate for the watch. So yeah, the male end links being what they are. I'll bring it up picture now because I don't know if it'll pick up on camera. But when the watch arrived in my hands, there was already scratches on the case back, which was a little bit unfortunate. I'm not going to lie, but that isn't the worst part, guys. So I'll bring up some other pictures now. So there was also part of the dial. I'll bring it up to the camera so you can see, just sort of in between the 1/2 position, you'll see there's a big crack there, and as part of it is actually either cracked the bottom of the sapphire crystal or is situated on the bottom of the sapphire crystal. Very, very unfortunate, to be honest. I'm not sure why that was allowed to leave the warehouse like that. A massive problem, and it's going to cause me a bit of an issue then sending it back. They say it's free postage and stuff, but it's just a palaver sending it back to get a refund. So yeah, the QC problems to the scratches at the back and the chip on the dial. So yeah, just to surmise what I think is pants is the polished catch on the clasp, the male end links, the scratch on the case back, and the dial damage and stuff going on there. What I think is Pukka is, yeah, I like the sapphire crystal. I like the fact it's domed. I like the fact it's got the blue AR coating on there. The dial, aside from the damage, as I say, that's very unfortunate. But the red fume dial, it looks really nice actually. I do like that. The loom, yeah, the loom's cool. It works. It doesn't last as long as I probably would have hoped, but it's very bright nonetheless. The bracelet, I wasn't sure about the bracelet. In some of the stock pictures, the fit at the end link, the lug wasn't great, and this fits okay, not too bad. Yeah, the case back, I love that case back. I'll show you one more time. The case back that they're producing is stunning. A little bit of art, to be honest. I like that. As you can see, just near where it says stainless, near the double S's, you'll see the scratches I was talking about as well. But yeah, the etching on the case back. And the fit and finish generally, to be honest, in terms of the brushing, in terms of the fitment, in terms of the polished surfaces, whether I like all of them or not, is by the by, they're done well. To be fair, they've done them well. They've executed it okay. So just what I think is Pukka is, I'll go with the sapphire crystal, I'll go with the dial, I'll go with the loom, I'll go with the bracelet, the case back, and the fit and finish of this watch. And would I recommend this watch? So a couple of things I didn't mention is the bezel. I'm undecided about. The fact that on inside warranty card is disappointing. Would I recommend it? It's a difficult question, guys, to be honest. I feel like these come in at the same sort of money as the San Martin 62 mass, even though these are a couple mil smaller, and I probably would point you in the direction of San Martin, given the execution of the finishing, given the fact I've never had these QC problems with San Martin. So if you want something a bit smaller, I'm sure not all of their watches will come like this, but this is what I was left with, and it's, for me, it's been quite a big disappointment, really. So given that being said, I can't really recommend this watch. The bracelet wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. There's some nice elements like the dial, but all in all, given the QC issues that weren't picked up at the factory, actually, yeah, I'm going to say no, I wouldn't recommend this, guys. Very disappointing for me. But guys, let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch your time. Take care, guys. All the very best.